This page is the front cover of the Nintendo 64 official magazine, and it's a vibrant showcase of Pokémon Snap. We've got Pikachu front and center, looking as cheerful as ever, alongside Haunter and Meowth. The cover also promises a massive first play of the Zelda sequel, Link's amazing new adventure, and secret level tips for Perfect Dark. All this for a mere £2.95, and it's the September issue, number 96. It's a real treat for any Pokémon or Zelda fan. This page is a full-page advert for Sky's Reach for the Sky initiative, encouraging young people to discover their potential careers, even becoming a comedian like Frank Skinner. This page is a fantastic look at why Nintendo magazine is the UK's biggest seller. We've got the whole Team Nintendo here, looking a bit overwhelmed but enthusiastic, promising you the inside scoop on all the new Nintendo 64 and Game Boy Color games. Plus, they claim to have the most screenshots and tips to help you master your favorite games. They're basically saying, trust us, we know our stuff, and you'd be daft to buy any other magazine. And down at the bottom they've got the latest issue of Nintendo official magazine, featuring Pokémon Snap of course, because who doesn't love taking virtual photos of Pokémon? They also give you all the essential contact details, so you can get in touch with the team. Whether it's for a quick question, or to complain about a lack of screenshots for your obscure favorite game. This page is dominated by a massive, cheerful Pikachu, practically shouting about, "Hey you Pikachu!" and promising all you need to know about the game, including wacky adventures, every crazy level, and even how to pet the little electric mouse. We're also treated to a sneak peek at the Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask, with Link brandishing his iconic shield and sword, promising it's better than ever for RPG nuts. Over on the right, it's a rapid-fire round of game news, highlighting new releases like Digimon, Duck Dodgers, Mario Tennis 64, Pokémon Puzzle League, Stadium Gold and Banjo-Kazooie, all for Game Boy Color and Nintendo 64. It's a veritable smorgasbord of Nintendo goodness. This page is all about keeping you up to date with the latest gaming news. We've got your essential guide to Pokémon Snap, taking you straight to page 22 to grab your cameras. Plus, we're diving into the Blagfest on page 81, where you can win prizes with your thinking caps. Get the hottest 164 tips in our game guides, and don't miss our rundown on Perfect Dark. We're also checking out the Blues Brothers 2000 on page 30 and Total Test on page 35, with what's promised to be the best buyer's guide in the universe. And if that's not enough, there's a free Game Boy magazine packed with Chicken Run and Toka goodness. This page features a fantastic close-up of Pikachu, looking absolutely adorable and ready for a chat. It's part of the Pokémon Snap coverage, reminding us we can now talk to our very own Pikachu pal as if he were real. What a treat for fans. The Nintendo 64 logo and some of the magazine's sections like Big Game, Talk to Pikachu, Meet the Pokémon, and Fun Levels are prominently displayed. It's a bright and cheerful page, perfectly capturing the charm of Pokémon Snap. This page is a full-page advert for Pokémon Stadium on the Nintendo 64. It features a rather imposing image of Mewtwo, alongside the game's title and the Nintendo 64 logo. It's a striking visual that certainly grabs your attention, promising epic battles. This page dives into the rather charming world of Hey You Pikachu on the Nintendo 64. It explains how the game utilizes a voice recognition system, or VRS, to allow players to communicate with the beloved electric mouse. You'll be strapping a microphone to your controller, or wearing it like a headset. Talk about immersive. The game promises a unique experience, where you train and befriend a virtual Pikachu, with little tidbits of information thrown in, like a Pokefact, explaining that the Japanese title translates to, Hey You Pikachu, you're doing great. There are also screenshots showcasing gameplay, including one where Pikachu looks rather unhappy after a Thundershock attack, and another where he's trapped in a bubble, all rather cute and dandy. It's clear the game aims to be a heartwarming, interactive experience, and I, for one, am already preparing my best Pika Pika for this one. This page gives us a fantastic look at how to get started with your very own virtual Pikachu in Hey You Pikachu on the Nintendo 64. It walks you through those crucial early moments, from finding Pikachu snoozing in the woods, to earning his trust by tossing him a beach ball. Apparently, he's easily pleased, which is a relief. We also see how building a friendship with Pikachu leads to some charming wake-up calls from your new pal, peeking through the window. The second half of the page then moves on to a bit of culinary adventure, with Pikachu helping Bulbasaur gather ingredients for a woodland recipe. It seems Bulbasaur's memory isn't the best, so Pikachu's on ingredient finding duty, tasked with snatching up an onion and a carrot. It's all about building that bond and helping your Pokémon pals out. Sounds like a recipe for fun. This page delves into the heartwarming interactions with Pikachu in Hey You Pikachu! It highlights the flower power mechanic, where guessing the correct flower name strengthens your bond with Pikachu, and the Mum, We Shocked the Babysitter scenario, where Pikachu has to care for Caterpies, leading to some electric mishaps. The page also covers Gone Fishing, detailing Pikachu's attempts to catch fish in the river, and showcases other Pokémon you'll encounter, including Venusaur, Krabby, Squirtle, and Magnemite, each with their own mini-challenges. It even includes a fun Pokéfact number 2, explaining the meaning behind Pikachu's name. It's a charming guide to building friendships and having adventures with your electric pal. This page is all about interacting with Pikachu in the game. Hey You Pikachu! It's a rather charming look at how you can influence your little electric buddy. You'll learn that calling Pikachu cute makes him blush, and telling him to do your best encourages him when he's fishing. If he's being a bit of a rascal, telling him he's bad will make him apologize. And if he's holding something, a simple throw it will have him chucking it away. There are even little tips on how to deal with Oddish and Poliwags, and how to get a Magikarp if your fishing skills aren't up to scratch. It's quite amusing to see how a few simple words can change Pikachu's behavior. This page showcases some delightful interactions with Pikachu in the game. Hey You Pikachu! EA, we see how you can get Pikachu to unleash his powerful Thundershock, though it's probably best not to mention the PlayStation when he's around, unless you fancy a shock. There's also a look at a beach-themed challenge, where Pikachu, blindfolded, needs your guidance to hit targets with a stick. Plus, we learn that calling Pikachu bad makes him apologize, and a rather amusing Pokémon fact reveals that Raichu actually means Thundermouse. The reviewer thinks Hey You Pikachu is a hilarious and original game, predicting that all Pokémon fans will love it. They're also hoping for a UK release soon, which, given the context, seems to be unconfirmed at this point. This page is a full-page advert for the Nickelodeon Red Hot Lobster Tour. It's a summer tour promising new bands, great prizes, and the messiest, noisiest, gackiest kid game show. Hosted by Mike McLean and Laura Desmond, the tour visits various locations across the UK in July, August, and September. Sounds like a proper laugh for the kids. This page is a brilliant preview for The Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask, hyping it up as the must-have RPG experience of the year. It's touted as having stunning worlds, new characters, and challenging gameplay, promising bigger battles and fiercer enemies for Link. We're told this is the adventure fans have been waiting for, and judging by the menacing central image, it's going to be a dark and gripping one. Definitely one to keep an eye on for sure. This page dives into the highly anticipated Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask, proclaiming it the next big thing for the Nintendo 64. It seems Ocarina of Time was just the warm-up act, and Majora's Mask is set to blow us all away with its darker themes and challenging puzzles. We see Link preparing to face the nefarious Skull Kid and prevent the world from ending. No pressure then. The screenshots show off Link's new adventures, hinting at a rich world filled with new characters and intricate riddles. It sounds like an absolute must-play, so sharpen your swords and prepare for another epic journey. The Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask plunges Link into the world of Termina, where he has only 3 days to prevent a moon from destroying the planet. This installment introduces a unique time loop mechanic, allowing players to reset the 3-day cycle using the Song of Time, and a transformative mask system granting Link diverse abilities by becoming different characters. The game features a compelling cast of characters, including the villainous Skull Kid who stole Epona, and guiding fairies Tattle and Tail. Players will encounter both allies and adversaries as they unravel Termina's secrets. Screenshots reveal a darker, more intense atmosphere than previous Zelda titles, promising a challenging yet rewarding experience. Majora's Mask offers a fresh take on the classic Zelda formula with its innovative mechanics and urgent storyline. This page delves into the world of The Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask, highlighting 2 key elements: characters and the passage of time. First, we meet the enigmatic man with the masks, the traveling salesman from the Happy Mask Shop. He's back from Ocarina of Time and crucial to Link's adventure, with his wares being essential for completing the quest. The text suggests he's a bit of a mysterious figure, and you never quite know what he's up to. Next, the page discusses how time waits for no man in Majora's Mask. Unlike its predecessor, the clock in Termina never stops, even when Link is delving into dungeons. This relentless ticking certainly adds a layer of urgency to Link's quest, as certain characters only appear at specific times. It really makes you think about how you're going to manage your precious 3 days before that moon crashes down. The page also features screenshots of Link and the game's distinctive visual style, showing off Link's determined look and some of the game's vibrant yet foreboding environments. This page delves into the magical masks and handy items available in The Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask. We get a closer look at some of the game's iconic masks, including the Deku Scrub Mask, which allows Link to shoot bubbles and fly, the Goron Mask, enabling him to roll and perform a spiked punch, and the Zora Mask, which lets him breathe underwater and use a boomerang. The Great Fairy Mask and Bunny Mask are also featured, with the latter being tied to finding the Pied Piper's lost chicks. On the right side, the page highlights the usefulness of certain items and abilities, mentioning how Link can stun enemies with Deku Nuts as a Deku Scrub, and even summon a backing group as Zora Link. It also touches upon the importance of the ocarina and learning new songs to progress, making for a truly musical adventure. The reviewer seems impressed with the variety of masks and their unique applications, promising a lot of fun and strategic gameplay. This page is all about keeping your adventuring life organized in The Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask. It explains how to use Link's notebook to track clues and manage your schedule, even showing you the current time and what's coming up. We see how characters you meet will be logged, and a handy schedule to keep track of conversations and items received. Plus, there are tips on those quirky stone owl statues you'll find dotted around, which apparently react to the ocarina's tunes. It's a really useful guide for anyone wanting to master this epic adventure. This page dives into the fun side of The Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask. Moving away from the serious adventuring, we get a glimpse into a photography minigame where Link can snap pictures, even suggesting it's a welcome break from all the battles. There are also details on the rather amusing dog racing side quest, where players can enter their canine companions for a chance to win some rupees. One particular brown dog is highlighted as a potential winner, adding a touch of light-hearted commentary. Adding to the excitement, there's a stop press announcement about a limited edition gold cartridge for American 64 owners, set to be released in October. While the UK's fate remains uncertain, it's a tantalizing piece of news for collectors. Finally, the page teases upcoming coverage of Banjo-Kazooie, with screenshots on page 82. This page is a massive advert for Closet Gamer, offering thousands of cheats and walkthroughs for a huge range of consoles including PlayStation, N64, Dreamcast and more. You can call their cheats line, or visit their website for game help. They're also running a competition to win a Sega Dreamcast. This page features the top spot for Pokemon Snap, giving it a perfect score and the coveted Awesome award. The reviewer clearly adores the game, calling it an amazing game you must play, and noting that catching Pokemon and taking pictures is utterly addictive. We also get a brief mention of Blues Brothers 2000, described as a non-stop funk and groovy platforming action that's a treat for the ears. The page is rounded out with the game's price of £44.99 and a release date of September 15th, alongside the usual Nintendo official magazine branding. This page looks like a rather cheerful review for Pokemon Snap, and honestly, it's hard to disagree. The massive On Snap, boldly emblazoned across the page, dwarfing a rather cute Poliwag and a jubilant Pikachu, really sets the tone. We're told it's a totally original gaming experience, where your weapon is a camera. How delightfully quirky. The reviewer clearly loves it, calling it a blast of fresh air and brilliant fun. We also get a glimpse of Pokemon Island, apparently home to 63 of the cutest, scariest and funniest critters you'll ever live to see. So, if you're looking for some snap-happy fun, get out there and capture those creatures, Pokemaniacs! And on the side, we see a shot of Todd, the man with the camera, who'd rather photograph Pokemon than fight them, a sentiment I can certainly appreciate. This page dives into the gameplay of Pokemon Snap, explaining how players will be snapping photos of Pokemon in various environments. It highlights the importance of getting the perfect shot, emphasizing that it's all about point and click rather than combat. The review touches on the story, mentioning Professor Oak and his 01 vehicle, a rather quirky way to get around and protect the photographer Todd. We also learn about the camera controls, like using the 3D stick to look around, and the A button to snap the picture, along with tips for getting the best photos, such as centering the Pokemon in the frame when its eyes turn red, a neat little visual cue. It sounds like a charming and unique experience for any Pokemon fan. This page discusses how to get the best scores in Pokemon Snap. It covers using items like Pokeapples and Pesteballs to get Pokemon to pose, and the Pokeflute to wake them up. The reviewer also breaks down what makes a good photo, highlighting a great shot of two Pikachus doing a special move, and a good shot of Rapidash. Conversely, a bad shot of a far-off Psyduck is also shown, with Professor Oak himself chiming in with his typically blunt feedback, suggesting more practice is needed. It also showcases some of the fun things you can do in the game, like having Meowth dance, or getting Magmar and Charmander to put on a fireworks display. This page is a delightful dive into the world of Pokemon Snap, featuring a letter from a chap named Todd, who's having a grand old time on Pokemon Island. He's sent over some cracking photos of his favorite Pokemon, along with a handy map to find them. We're treated to snapshots of adorable Charmanders, a rather menacing Cloyster, and the elusive Mew, which Todd claims is as rare as a bad rare game and a real challenge to capture on film. The illustrations are charming, depicting everything from a volcanic landscape to a beach, with helpful red arrows pointing out where to find these digital critters. Todd's advice on catching these Pokemon sounds spot on, especially his tip about finding Eevee playing with a ball. It truly captures the fun and discovery of the game. This page is a fantastic look at Pokemon Snap, showcasing some truly epic shots from Pokemon Island. We see a very quick glimpse of Pikachu and what looks like a Diglett, with a note saying it's a fleeting appearance, so you've got to be fast. Then there's a brilliant photo of Zapdos, described as a legendary bird with a shocking part to play in the tunnel area. Following on, we get a cracking shot of Gyarados, a rather scary-looking critter that's apparently quite hard to find in the valley. Finally, we're treated to a glimpse of Articuno, a real devil to find, and some Jigglypuffs in a cave, with the reviewer suggesting you rescue them for a haunting blast of their lullaby. It really captures the adventure and excitement of snapping these Pokemon. This page delves into the hidden monsters and secret encounters within Pokemon Snap, giving us a few cryptic clues to decipher. We're told about some tricky hidden monsters that aren't quite Pokemon themselves, like mountains resembling Dugtrio, and a tree that looks uncannily like Cubone. There's also a mention of a feisty bug Pokemon that knows Swords Dance, and appears in both red and blue versions. The main event here, however, is a detailed look at Mew, everyone's favorite pink phantom. Apparently this elusive Pokemon makes its appearance right at the end of the game, in its own special level called Rainbow Cloud. The reviewer paints a mystical picture of this place, with constellations of Pokemon-shaped stars, and a multicolored mist where Mew floats, protected by a yellow force field. Getting a good snap of Mew won't be easy, as you'll need to break through that force field first. The page also offers a concise summary of the game's length, stating that with 63 Pokemon and 7 areas to discover, it's a rather short but sweet experience. Overall, it seems Pokemon Snap is a game that rewards keen observation and a bit of patience for those seeking out its more hidden secrets. This page is a fantastic full-page advert for Pokemon Snap on the Nintendo 64. It showcases a vibrant collage of Pokemon like Gyarados, Charmander, Squirtle, Psyduck, Pidgey, Butterfree, Bulbasaur, and Pikachu, all captured on film strips. The tagline, "Gotta snap 'em all," is prominently displayed, reinforcing the game's objective. This page is a glowing review for Blues Brothers 2000 on the Nintendo 64, confidently declaring it a potential hit and a refreshing injection of originality into platform gaming. It paints a vivid picture of the game, from Jake Elwood's Jailbreak to navigating swampy areas and city sewers, all presented with Super Mario 64-style 3D platforming. The reviewer is particularly impressed with the graphics, noting their detail, and highlights the game's funky music and ice-cool characters. The screenshots showcase the game's environments, including bustling city streets with police cars, and a rather grim-looking prison cell, perfectly capturing the game's atmosphere. It even adds a humorous touch, suggesting you'll need to remember your green crosscode. There's also a mention of a cool customer who keeps his hat on even when getting electrocuted. A true bluesman, I suppose. This page delves into the gameplay mechanics and puzzle elements of Blues Brothers 2000, offering some handy tips for players. We learn about Jake's combat moves, like his standard punch and a rather effective skid attack that seems to be a go-to for many situations. The reviewer notes that enemies aren't the brightest sparks, often allowing you to get the drop on them. For the puzzle sections, it's suggested that players will need a good dose of imagination, with hints pointing towards using air vents to progress, and solving challenges involving steering patients with the fat nurse. One particular puzzle involves a timed element and direction pads, which sounds like a neat little challenge. The overall impression is that while the game might have its repetitive moments, the puzzles are designed to be engaging and fun. It also confirms Jake's impressive range of moves, from acrobatics to crawling, suggesting he's a man of many talents. This page highlights the camera controls and the multiplayer aspect of the Blues Brothers 2000. The reviewer points out that while the camera can be a bit tricky, the first-person view is useful for spotting sneaky routes. They also discuss the game's multiplayer mode, which involves a dance-off that can get repetitive but is still a fun diversion. The text also touches on picking up musical notes to learn new songs and hearts to restore health, noting that these are vital for progression. The overall impression is that Blues Brothers 2000 offers plenty of foot-tapping tunes and engaging gameplay, despite some minor repetition. This page dives into the musical mayhem of Blues Brothers 2000, declaring it a funky, dance-inducing experience that's a blast for one player, though the multiplayer's dance-off can get a tad tiresome. The reviewer is clearly impressed with the variety on offer, noting the game is so good it'll keep you hooked, wanting to see what happens next. It earns a rather respectable 85%, falling just shy of Mario's magical touch, but still a grand platform romp. And, for good measure, it also teases the equally energetic wacky races on Dreamcast. The next page is a vibrant advert for the Pokémon Summer Tour. It lists the tour dates and locations across the UK, from Glasgow to Brighton, promising a chance to learn the game, battle, and grab a free goodie bag. It's clearly aimed at getting trainers excited for some summer Pokémon fun. This issue of Total Test, guided by Yoshi, offers a comprehensive and monthly updated guide to all things Nintendo, including games and accessories. It features reviews of new N64 releases, highlighted in blue, alongside coverage of essential gear like rumble packs and joypads. Readers can find recommendations on what games to buy, gotta get 'em, P36, and track sales trends, sales chart P40. The magazine also highlights 5 top games, 5 of the best P40, classics for younger players, looking for P38, and bargain bin finds, and the rest P42, with a rental chart, P40, for trying games first. A clear scoring system ranges from real rubbish to amazing game, with an awesome award for titles scoring over 90%. Scores are dynamically updated to reflect current gaming standards, ensuring the most relevant recommendations. Don't miss the review of Excitebike 64 on page 37. Ilandussen. This page is a fantastic preview of upcoming Nintendo 64 titles, promising plenty of gaming goodness over the next few months. We've got a look at ISS 2000 and StarCraft 64 for next month, Eternal Darkness and Mario Tennis for in 3 months, and Dinosaur Planet for 4 months down the line. The reviews are sharp, with a particular highlight on Diddy Kong Racing and Duke Nukem 0 Hour, both scoring a whopping 96% and 92% respectively. It seems the N64 is really hitting its stride, with some truly stellar releases on the horizon. This page is a breakdown of various Nintendo 64 games and accessories, focusing on rumble packs. We see reviews for Earthworm Jim 3D, European PGA Tour, and ECW Hardcore Revolution, along with a section testing different rumble pack accessories, like the Jolt Pack and Tremor Pack. Other games reviewed include Excitebike 64, F1 Pole Position G.AS page, Vekor F1 World Grand Prix, Gauntlet Legends, Hexen 64, Extreme G, Fighters Destiny, Gex 3 Deep Cover Gecko, Holy Magic Century, FIFA 98 RTTC, GoldenEye 007 Hot Wheels, FIFA 99, Forsaken, Hybrid Heaven, Vekor X Hydro Thunder Flying Dragon Glover, and ISS 64. The reviewer notes that some games are better than others, with titles like FIFA 99 and ISS 64 receiving high praise. This page is a fantastic look back at some classic Nintendo 64 titles, with a special focus on memory packs and controller accessories. We've got reviews for ISS 98, Jet Force Gemini, Killer Instinct Gold, Kirby 64, The Crystal Shards, Knockout Kings, Lamborghini Lego Racers, Madden Football 64, Mario Golf, Mario Party 2, Michael Owens WLS, Mischief Makers, Mission Impossible, Mortal Kombat 4, and Monaco GP. The reviews give us a good sense of what was hot back in the day, with titles like Madden Football 64 and Mario Golf getting a thumbs up for their gameplay and graphics. It's also a great reminder of all the different accessories that were available to enhance the N64 experience, from memory packs to rumble packs. The "Looking for a Kiddies Game" section is a charming touch, highlighting titles like Lego Racers and Tarzan for younger players. It's a proper nostalgia trip. This page dives into the world of Nintendo 64 racing peripherals with a Wicked Wheels feature, showcasing everything from the Top Drive 3 to the Formula Race Pro. We've also got some cracking game reviews, including Perfect Dark, which is apparently better than GoldenEye, and Penny Racers, described as a cute little racer. Then there's Pilot Wings 64, Premier Manager 64, and a smattering of sports titles like NBA Courtside, NBA in the Zone 2000, NBA Jam 99, NBA Jam 2000, NFL Quarterback Club 99, NFL Quarterback Club 2000, Mystical Ninja 2, NHL Pro 99, NHL Breakaway 98, Nuclear Strike, Operation Winback, Paperboy and Quake 2. It's a proper blast from the past, offering insights into what was hot back then, and some rather enthusiastic reviews. This page features the Nintendo 64 sales chart, with Perfect Dark leading the pack. It highlights various N64 games available, including Pokémon Stadium and Zelda, and promotes a voucher offering £5 off any game from the top 10 at Electronics Boutique. There's also a breakdown of several game reviews, such as Rainbow Six and Resident Evil 2, with brief descriptions of their gameplay and what the reviewer thought. The page also mentions a rental chart for N64 games, featuring blockbusters like GoldenEye 007. This review covers N64 controllers and a wide range of games. The official Nintendo controller is top-rated, though potentially awkward for left-handed players. Other controllers, like the GT4 and Manta Ray, offer alternatives, while the G64 prioritizes aesthetics over performance. Game highlights include Super Smash Bros. As a definitive beat-em-up and Super Mario 64 for its enduring platforming. Star Wars fans can enjoy Rogue Squadron and Episode I, Racer. South Park titles, Chef's Love Shack, Rally, deliver quirky fun, while Shadow Man provides horror thrills. Racing is represented by Rush 2 and Supercross 2000. Puzzle fans might enjoy Silicon Valley or Tetrasphere, and Tony Hawk's Skateboarding receives a strong recommendation. Several other titles are briefly reviewed, including Tarzan, Sage's Heroes, and Shadows of the Empire, with varying degrees of success. This page is a treasure trove of N64 game reviews, a proper nostalgia trip. We've got a massive roundup of titles including Turok Rage Wars and Turok 2, Seeds of Evil, which are clearly the kings of the jungle with 93% and 94% scores respectively. WWF Attitude and WWF Warzone also get a nod for their wrestling action, with WWF WrestleMania 2000 scoring a massive 91%, claiming it's right up there with WWF Attitude. It's a battle of the titans in the racing world too, with Top Gear Overdrive and Tidge Rally 2 showing off their speed. Zelda is the undeniable champion at 97%, hailed as the best game in the world, no less. Other games like Vigilante 8, Wipeout 64, Worms Armageddon, World Cup 98, Xena Warrior Princess, and Yoshi's Story all get their moment in the sun, offering a fantastic mix of genres from shooters to sports. The reviewer clearly has a soft spot for the N64, and frankly, who can blame them with gems like these? This page is a full-page advert for cheats for free, with loads of cheats to play, but nothing to pay when you visit www.infomediaservices.co.uk. You can call 087 074 308 37 for cheats for PlayStation, N64, Dreamcast, PS2, Game Boy, and PC. This page is absolutely packed with essential tips for Nintendo 64 gamers, focusing on how to master some of the era's classics. We dive into Excitebike 64 with a tip for unlocking bonus tracks and achieving invisible riders, which sounds like a right laugh honestly. Then, it's on to International Track and Field, where you can learn to unlock new events and master longer leaps, perfect for showing off your athletic prowess, or at least pretending to. We also get a glimpse of Small Heads mode, because who doesn't want their virtual athletes to look like bobbleheads? It's a fantastic guide for getting the most out of these games, no doubt about it. This page is a treasure trove for Nintendo 64 enthusiasts, featuring essential tips for two iconic games. Firstly, Ridge Racer 64 reveals how to unlock bonus motors like the Crazy Canuck and Blinky. The page details the surprising requirements to get these speedy rides, and it sounds like a real challenge to master them in mirror mode, or by completing 99 laps. Then, we delve into the world of Perfect Dark, with a focus on unlocking new game modes. Invincibility sounds like a godsend for taking on those pesky enemies, while cloaking will surely add a stealthy edge to your missions. For those who like a bit of a challenge, Far Sight lets you shoot through walls, and Laptop Ammo promises unlimited ammunition for the Air Force One mission. Finally, a cheat for GoldenEye 007 is unveiled, promising an extra character cheat, It seems all you need to do is enter a specific button code in the cheat menu to activate it, and you'll be playing as a masked terrorist in no time. The page also includes a handy diagram for controller inputs, showing you exactly which buttons to press for these awesome cheats. It's a brilliant guide for any N64 owner looking to get more out of their games. This page is a goldmine of N64 secrets, starting with official Nintendo top 5 tips. We get some cracking cheats for Battletoads, offering invincibility and level selection with the passwords HPPY, HHPY and Bodysect respectively. Then there's Plawlat Wars with its new multiplayer cheats, letting you earn a medal on the Venom level to control tanks in versus mode. Diddy Racing offers a cool way to change balloon colors with specific words like Bombs Away and Bodyarmor, and NBA Courtside lets you play as tiny players by pressing a rather long button combination on the main menu. Finally, Rocket Robot on Wheels has a cheat to unlock all vehicles by pausing and inputting a sequence of buttons, and you won't need tokens anymore. Moving on, we have Bash Dat Boss for Perfect Dark, where you'll need to shoot 5 prongs until they fall off to defeat the king. Next up, Our Marines offers some truly satisfying bug blasting action, with cheats available to make the experience even more enjoyable. And for the Pokemon fans, Pokemon Stadium reveals how to get the elusive surfing Pikachu. You need to keep Pikachu in your team at all times and do not continue, after which you can use your little surfer on the northern beach of Route 19 in yellow. There's also a tip for Perfect Dark about taking control of groovy characters in 64 games. This page is a treasure trove of Nintendo 64 secrets, featuring tips for Banjo-Kazooie and Mario Golf. For Banjo-Kazooie, you can get infinite energy by typing Give the Bear Lotso Fair, and for maximum health, Energy Barget Yugfar on the sandcastle floor. Mario Golf players can unlock the Mario Star course by scoring 2,200 points after completing the first 4 courses. The page also includes a massive list of cheats, tips, and walkthroughs for over 3,000 games, accessible via a premium rate phone line. This page is a fantastic dive into Nintendo 64 cheats and tips. We've got some cracking advice for GoldenEye 007, including how to play as a tiny Bond, and some excellent multiplayer bonuses to get stuck into. Then there's Perfect Dark, with a guide on getting Jonathan to help on Area 51 rescue, and a tip for finding the Phoenix on the Carrington Institute. Finally, we round it off with a neat trick for Tid Rally 2, to get yourself some extra credits. All in all, a proper gamer's guide to making the most of these classics. This page is your ultimate guide to conquering some of the N64's toughest challenges. We've got the lowdown on Castlevania, Legacy of Darkness, specifically how to navigate the collapsed platform in Henry's Quest. Then, it's on to Pokemon Stadium, where we advise on using your Game Boy Pokemon against Lance, and recommend some top rental Pokemon. If you're stuck in Perfect Dark, we reveal the location of Hidden Cheese in Central Defection, and a fast way to get Trent's Magnum. For Ridge Racer 64, we're suggesting you try a 4-player game, and how to deal with the robbers by crashing them. Plus, we've got a winner for Wario's thanks to Ariyud Warra from Colchester. And for GoldenEye 007, there's a tip for beating the Egyptian level, and a secret path to the Golden Guns. Finally, we ask you to send in your own tips for a chance to win Nintendo gear, with a special mention for the winning tip for Pokemon Stadium. This page is all about your scores, challenging you to become the ultimate gamer. We've got the lowdown on how to nail those top times in Ridge Racer 64, conquer the arena in Perfect Dark, and achieve the furthest leap in track and field. Plus, there's a look at the high-flying action in Trade Rally 2. On top of that, we celebrate the champions of Pokemon Stadium and Super Smash Bros., with Peter Dixon and John Costigan leading the pack. It's a real showcase of N64 prowess. This page is all about the Mega Challenge, focusing on how to enter and the results of a Donkey Kong 64 competition. It features a picture of Donkey Kong, and highlights that cheating is not allowed, emphasizing fair play for genuine gamers. The page also provides instructions on how to submit your scores, including details about sending photos or videos of your gameplay. There's a promise of prizes for top scorers, like Nintendo controller pads or Rumble Packs, and it teases the results of the Donkey Kong 64 challenge, encouraging readers to turn the page to find out who won. The Rareware logo is also prominently displayed, a nice touch for fans of the developer. This page details the Rare Mega Challenge for Donkey Kong 64, pitting 4 contestants against each other. We meet Sean Matthews, Shahidul Kabir, Phil Merchant, and Gavin Fuller, each with their own quotes and chosen characters. Sean, hailing from Paisley, Scotland, chose Chunky Kong and famously quipped, I haven't practiced much, I'm just naturally good at games. Shahidul from Luton opted for Tiny Kong, while Phil from Bradford went with Donkey Kong, and Gavin from Romford chose Diddy Kong with a confident, "Blast! I just killed myself. I hate it when I do that." The competition was fierce, with Sean taking an early lead. However, a rampaging Chunky caused chaos, and in the end, it was Sean who emerged victorious, bagging some seriously cool prizes including a Nom t-shirt, cap, steering wheel, and a Game Boy Color, plus his choice of N64 games. Naturally, the winner and his fellow contenders celebrated their hard-earned swag with a trip to London's Trocadero. It sounds like a truly epic day for these Nintendo enthusiasts. This page showcases the Rare Mega Challenge, featuring contestants playing Perfect Dark and Top Drive Roadster. We see some of the contenders in action, including Gavin looking a bit unlucky in a practice session. The main event is the Mega Final, which will feature the top 4 perfect agents, and the closing date for entries is September 29, 2000. It sounds like a proper challenge for any dedicated player, especially with the final taking place on Saturday, October 14th. Don't forget to include your phone number, or you'll forfeit your place, and make sure you're free on the 14th of October. This page is all about Perfect Dark's multiplayer, and what a cracking guide it is. We've got the lowdown on tackling the combat simulator with the second part of this guide. It breaks down how to master the game, offering tips and tricks for everything from beating your mates to becoming the ultimate simulant king. There's a great quote from We Said, saying the multiplayer levels are chock full of heart-pumping excitement. We also get stuck into fighting simulant types, with advice on how to handle both the advanced and easier ones, and even a section on how to surprise your opponents with deadly mines. To top it all off, there's a look at different game modes, including Capture the Briefcase and Hacker Central, giving us all the intel we need to dominate the battlefield. It's genuinely a fantastic walkthrough for anyone wanting to get the most out of Perfect Dark's brilliant multiplayer. This page continues our look at the challenging Perfect Dark simulator, diving into challenges 16 through 35. We've got a breakdown of how to tackle each one, from using proximity mines in Challenge 16 to mastering the Devastator in Challenge 30. There's also a handy weapon challenges list, detailing the requirements to unlock various weapons in multiplayer. It's a comprehensive guide for anyone looking to conquer every challenge Perfect Dark has to offer and truly master its brilliant multiplayer. This page continues our guide to Perfect Dark's multiplayer arenas, focusing on Grid and Ruins, with some Area 52 tips thrown in for good measure. For Grid, it highlights that the glass floor can be shot out, and that mines are a good deterrent. The rocky area is noted as a prime spot for traps, and it's advised to use the tunnel system for quick getaways. In Ruins, the reviewer points out the atmospheric nature of the level, with flickering lights adding to the spookiness. Narrow passages are not ideal for combat, and it's suggested to use the doors on this level to your advantage to slow down opponents. The main room offers good items and catwalks for combat. Finally, for Area 52, it's mentioned that the outside areas provide more freedom of movement, while the tunnels are more restrictive. The raised island is a good spot for weapons, but leaves you vulnerable. Mines can be used to trap opponents on the island, and the towers are great for sniping, though difficult to defend. Some tips are also given for dealing with enemies on glass platforms, and the placement of mines to prevent traps. It's a handy guide for anyone wanting to dominate in Perfect Dark. This page continues our essential guide to Perfect Dark, this time delving into the fortress and car park levels. We're given crucial tips for navigating these arenas, including how to utilize the multi-tiered bases in the fortress and the color-coded stairwells in the car park, which are vital for identifying weapon locations and avoiding traps. The guide also covers the temple level, emphasizing the numerous routes available, and ends with a triumphant "You did it" message, congratulating players on mastering the multiplayer modes. It's a masterclass in how to dominate the competition in Perfect Dark's multiplayer. This page continues our comprehensive guide to Perfect Dark, focusing on unlocking its secret levels. We're treated to a stunning visual of Joanna Dark, looking ever so determined, as we're introduced to the secret levels guide. The content promises to reveal how to open up new levels after all your hard work. The content section breaks down what's covered: secret level solutions, tricky bits explained, puzzles solved, level walkthroughs, and secrets unlocked. A bold We Said quote proclaims, "Turok was tops, GoldenEye was great, but this is the N64's best shoot-'em-up." The main feature details Mr. Blonde's revenge mission, where players take on the role of the sinister Mr. Blonde. The objective is to capture Cassandra de Vries and bring her back to your ship. The page also lays out the specific objectives: plant an explosive device, find the Datadyne captain, and escort Cassandra to the helipad. We're given a series of numbered gameplay tips with screenshots, guiding us through the mission. From equipping the CMP-150 and dealing with nasty bodyguards, to planting a bomb, activating a cloaking device, and confronting Cassandra herself, it's all here. The guide even advises against shooting Cassandra, suggesting disarming her instead. Finally, a concluding image shows the mission's completion, with a ship flying off to Skidar, and a hint that Cassandra and Joanna will end up sharing a cell, a satisfying story conclusion. It really highlights how well crafted the narrative is in this game. This page continues our in-depth look at Perfect Dark with the Mayansos mission. We're guiding you through this particularly tricky secret level, where you take control of Elvis the alien chum, to rescue the Mayan ambassador. The objectives include sabotaging enemy medical equipment, destroying a captured Mayan craft, and sending a distress signal. We've got a series of illustrated steps guiding you through everything from dealing with guards in a lab, blowing up a UFO with explosive barrels, and even using the psychosis gun to turn a guard against his own men. It's a proper good mission, and if you manage to complete it, you'll probably find the others a breeze. Well done! This page dives deep into Perfect Dark's secret levels, focusing on the war and the duel missions. For war, it breaks down the objectives, guiding players through defending against Skidar forces and battling clone soldiers across 7 illustrated steps. It highlights tactics, like using the Phoenix's secondary function and engaging in close-quarters combat. The duel section explains how to unlock this secret level, and offers advice on defeating opponents, like the Datadyne Guard, Jonathan Dark, and the formidable Trent Easton, emphasizing speed and accuracy. It finishes by saying, finish off the evil Trent Easton, and you'll have the last of the secret levels in the bag. But will you ever get bored of this game? Not with all the multiplayer levels you have to get through. This page is a stunning full-page poster of Joanna Dark, from Perfect Dark. She's depicted in her signature blue and silver tactical suit, poised for action against a stark black background. The title of the game, Perfect Dark, is emblazoned vertically down the left side in a striking blue and white geometric font, with the TM symbol. To the top right we see the Nintendo 64 logo and the word poster, clearly indicating this is a pull-out for fans. It's a classic piece of N64-era artwork that perfectly captures the futuristic and intense vibe of the game. This page offers a comprehensive guide to the Carrington Institute in Perfect Dark. It breaks down the core training aspects of the game, covering holo training, item training, and the firing range. The guide highlights essential skills like movement, combat, and using various gadgets such as the data uplink and camspy. It also gives players a sneak peek at the Institute's layout, pointing out key areas like the hacker terminals and the hangar. The reviewer seems impressed, noting that mastering these training modules is crucial for success in the game, especially for improving combat skills. It's clear that the Carrington Institute is the place to be for any aspiring agent looking to get up to speed. This page delves into the firing range challenges in Perfect Dark, offering tips for mastering both light weapons and automatics. It's quite the proving ground, where you'll need to earn those silver and gold medals to unlock new weaponry. We're talking about the Falcon 2, Magsec 4, Mauler, and the rather amusingly named laptop gun, among others. Honestly, if you can't nail these challenges, you're probably not going to last long against a room full of enemies. The advice here is spot on, especially for the machine guns. You'll need that rapid fire to truly dominate. This page is all about mastering the weapons of Perfect Dark. We get a rundown on rifles, covering the sniper rifle, Farsight's Xnia 20, and the shotgun, with tips on how to achieve silver and gold ratings. Then it moves on to stealth weapons, focusing on the combat knife and crossbow, again with specific advice for high scores. The next section tackles explosives, detailing the Devastator, rocket launcher and various mines, timed, proximity, remote. It emphasizes that accuracy isn't always key here, as the blast radius does a lot of the work, which is a rather handy fact to know, isn't it? Finally, there's a section on rewards, hinting that the game includes some rather familiar weaponry from GoldenEye, albeit with slightly altered names. It's a nice nod to fans of Rare's previous work, and it's great to see those classic guns making a comeback. All in all, this page is a solid guide to becoming a true weapons master in Perfect Dark. This page is a full-page advertisement for Pokémon Special Pikachu Edition on Game Boy, featuring bold yellow text on an orange background. It encourages players to embark on a journey with Pikachu and discover new strategies, showcasing the iconic character. This page features a lively selection of reader mail and Mario's winner accolades, with the magazine's editor, Rich, and reviewer Dave weighing in. We hear from readers about their thoughts on games like GoldenEye 007, Mario Golf, and the upcoming Pokémon Gold and Silver, with opinions flying thick and fast. Plus, there's a fun prompt asking readers which 3 games they'd take into Bowser's prison, with some rather imaginative answers. The main focus is on the readers' engagement, sharing their passion for Nintendo titles with the community. This page is all about the readers' questions and opinions, with the legendary Shigeru Miyamoto himself back to answer them in the Ask Miyamoto section. It kicks off with some essential email rules to ensure a speedy response. Keep it short, number your questions, and send them to the right address, all very sensible. Then we dive into the mailbag. Philip Cardwell wants to know about the N64 Zelda, Majora's Mask, and Chris Passett is raving about Pokémon Yellow, calling it the best Pokémon game ever. Richie John Williams humorously questions why Rich is called a gaming guru when he was apparently rubbish at Super Smash Bros. Jimmy Griff is eager for news on StarCraft 64, and Harry Steele is hoping for a sequel to Lilat Wars. Jenny Rochelle asks about favorite N64 games, with a preference for Super Mario 64, Wave Race 64, and Perfect Dark. Miyamoto himself chimes in with his thoughts, agreeing with the reader about Lilat Wars and admitting he'd prefer developers to work on individual games rather than combining forces for one big project. He even jokes about needing to speak better English to explain his ideas. It's a great glimpse into the minds of Nintendo fans and the man himself. This page features the Ask Rare section, where readers can send in their questions to Uncle Tusk from Rare. There's a cool illustration of a muscular warrior to accompany the text. We have a reader, Robert Taylor, suggesting Nintendo official magazine 64 could hire new people to design covers and review games, with the goal of becoming the best-selling magazine in the world. Another reader is excited about the possibility of dolphins linking up for multiplayer games, imagining GoldenEye 007 with 8 players. Then there are some interesting questions about game mechanics. One reader noticed blue, yellow, or red cube-like shapes appearing in Perfect Dark cutscenes and wonders if it's a programming error or something else. Another asks if a level in Perfect Dark called Felicity is actually Facility. There's also a question about whether Super Smash Bros. Is the hardest N64 game, especially on hard mode, and if Jigglypuff is a good character. Plus, a reader is curious about why Perfect Dark got an 18 certificate, speculating it's due to blood and gore. Finally, someone mentions Jet Force Gemini, being a tough game with hard bosses. This page features the Mario's Winner and Mario's Hotline sections, where readers submit their opinions and questions. We've got some fiery debates here, with one reader declaring Digimon pants compared to Pokémon. Another is absolutely buzzing about the potential for a WWF Pokémon game, imagining wrestling matches with all 40 Pokémon. That's certainly a thought-provoking, if slightly bonkers idea. There's also a discussion about the upcoming Perfect Dark, with one reader worried it might get an 18 certificate, speculating it's due to blood and gore. Meanwhile, another is championing the Japanese version of a game, praising its jaw-droppingly excellent gameplay. We also see some excellent suggestions for future games, including a potential Donkey Kong title for the Game Boy Advance. It's great to see such passionate feedback from the readers. And of course, the page ends with a call to action, inviting more submissions to Mario's Hotline. This page is all about reader-submitted ideas for future Nintendo consoles and Game Boy Advance designs. We've got some truly out-there concepts, like the Nintellium, a console that looks like a lime green cake, complete with 6 controller ports. Then there's the big fun Pikachu Joy machine, which is exactly what it sounds like. David Hawley's design with 2 handles and trigger buttons for a GBA is pretty neat, and Robert Grayson's idea with pedals on Pikachu's feet is certainly imaginative. Stuart Powley's GBA, with cool case designs, especially the tiger print, is also a winner. Plus, we've got a list of suggested names for the new Nintendo machine, including some crackers like Handbeast and MAD. Brilliant stuff. This page features a winner-takes-all competition, where readers can challenge the magazine's gaming guru Rich to N64 games. The page highlights Rich's struggles against Marion, who apparently demolishes him in GoldenEye 007. There are photos of the players and descriptions of the matches, with Rich seeming increasingly frustrated. It also mentions how readers can enter by sending requests for help to the magazine. One section, Holy Smoke, details Marion's dominance, calling her a tough cookie. Another section, Damnation, describes Rich being down 42 and admitting Marion is his match. The final section, Fix, suggests Rich might need a different opponent next time, perhaps Tim. The overall tone is light-hearted and a bit mocking of Rich's defeat. This page is a glorious celebration of all things Pokemon, bringing you the latest updates straight from the Pokemon Center. We've got the inside scoop on the Blue Water event, where dedicated Pokémags battled it out, and some even managed to snag the elusive Mew. Plus, get ready for more tour reports next month, packed with all the crazy happenings. We're also showcasing some awesome Pokemon toys and, of course, all your favorite features like Pokemart and Pokemaniac. And for those aspiring Pokefans, we're delving into the ultimate Pokefusion, showing you how to create your very own Pokefusion by combining different Pokemon parts. Imagine a Kangaskhan head with an Eakin's tail for some serious headbutting and whipping action, or perhaps a Golem body with an Alakazam set of arms to put opponents to sleep. It's all about building your ultimate warrior. And don't forget the Burger King tie-in, where you can collect 16 exclusive Pokemon Power Cards with kids' meals. There's a chance to win a complete set, so get your entries in by August 28, 2000. This page is a vibrant Poke-Art feature, showcasing fan-submitted artwork of the mighty Raichu. We see some truly impressive and colorful drawings, with Raichu depicted in various dynamic poses, zapping foes and even defending a Jigglypuff. The text highlights some of the talented artists, including Christopher Young, Samantha Sierotko, Kevin Parry, Jody Ryan, Georgina Lilly, and Kathy McNesty. It's clear the fans are really getting into the spirit of Pokemon. Following this, we get a step-by-step guide on how to draw Mew, a fantastic addition for any aspiring artist wanting to capture the enigmatic psychic type. The page also celebrates Pokemaniac of the Month, Ann Barton from Doncaster, who created an incredible set of custom Pokemon playing cards. We see Diglett, Squirt, Ika, Primeape and Raichu all looking ready for a game. And of course, there's a great picture of Ash Ketchum, the original Pokemon Master, looking as enthusiastic as ever. This page is a fantastic look at the Pokemon Tour 2000 event. We get to see the massive Pokemon logo with Mew looking quite pleased with himself, and the action kicks off with a report from the Blue Water event. It highlights that this summer's Ultimate Pokemon event, hosted by Nintendo, was a huge success. There's a section on the Mew download, letting us know that lots of fans turned up to get Mew, the 151st Pokemon, and reminding everyone to catch Mew in Pokemon Adventure before it heads back to Japan. We also get a glimpse into the Poke Games arena, where the Pokemon Stadium game pods were a massive hit. The real draw, however, was Pokemon Snap, with fans queuing up to play it before its release on September 15th. The Pokenuts section features some of the enthusiastic attendees. Philip and Roger Noble are interviewed, with Philip expressing how pretty scary the competition was, but that he's been really excited by the whole setup. We also hear from Jessica Isaacs, who showed off her level 100 Gengar, and Ted Timmins, who was thoroughly enjoying Pokemon Snap and has ambitions to be a future editor. It's clear the Pokemon phenomenon is in full swing, with everyone eager to get their hands on the latest games and experiences. This page is a full-page advert for the Pokemon Adventure event, featuring kids posing with a giant Pikachu. It announces that Pokemon are taking over the Millennium Dome with a chance to win tickets and see the UK's best Pokemon experience. This page is all about the magnificent world of Pokemon toys, and boy do they have some goodies for you. We're diving headfirst into Hasbro's incredible collection of monster toys. You'll be reminded to look out for the official logo to ensure you're getting the genuine article. It's no surprise really, Hasbro's Pokemon merchandise is absolutely massive. So much so that it's hard to fit it all into one collector's guide. They're even promising more Pokemon fun in future issues, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Plus, we get a peek at the Pokemon Master Trainer board game and Pokemon Yahtzee Jr., which sounds like a fantastic way to keep the little trainers entertained. The whole page is a vibrant celebration of all things Pokemon, making you want to collect them all, just like the show. This page showcases the Pokemon Monopoly board game, a brilliant adaptation of the classic property trading game. It features London locations replaced with Pokemon gyms and other familiar spots from the games, with adorable Pokemonsters as counters. The reviewer clearly thinks it's a fantastic version, perfect for fans looking for a proper Monopoly experience. It's suitable for 2 to 6 players and costs £29.99. We also see a mention of Pokemon Master Trainer, which involves capturing Pokemon and battling a Master Trainer to win, costing £19.99. This page is all about collecting Pokemon. we've got the early retirement section, which is a handy guide to spotting those valuable, hard-to-find retired Hasbro Pokemon toys. Apparently, if you've got them, you should treasure them, as they might just make you rich. Then there are the Power Bouncers, super bouncy balls with little Pokemon trapped inside. For £2.49 each, you can try your luck at collecting Pokemon like Poliwhirl, Charmander, Charizard, Squirtle, Blastoise, Pikachu, Flareon, Mewtwo, Dragonite, Vaporeon, Jolteon, Mew, Meowth, Togepi, Bulbasaur, Eevee, and Psyduck. Over in Pokemon Grabbers, you can snag yourself some Pokemon figures for £9.99 each, which come with a Pokeball and Battle Disc. The ones featured are Arcanine and Gengar, Electabuzz and Pidgey, Dugong and Rattata, and Lickitung and Eevee. Finally, we have the interactive Pikachu, a super talkative plush toy that reacts to speech, for a hefty £24.99. It's described as the cutest thing you've ever seen, which is high praise indeed. And don't forget the roller stampers at £4.99 each, which let you create patterns with Pokemon characters. It seems like there's something for every budding Pokemon master here. This page showcases some adorable Pokemon zipper plushes, which are not only cute but also functional, transforming into Pokeballs when unzipped. It's a collector's dream with a list of plushies available, like Psyduck, Koffing, Gengar, Jigglypuff, and even a few Pikachu variations. There's also a section on micro playsets, featuring miniature scenes from the Pokemon world that can be connected for bigger adventures. You can collect a town playset, forest playset, beach playset, arena playset, and park playset. It seems like Pokemon merchandise is taking over, and frankly, who can blame us? These are just too cute to resist. This page is a fantastic dive into the world of Pokemon toys. First up, we have the Pokemon trainer figures, featuring the iconic trio of Ash, Misty, and Brock, alongside the nefarious Team Rocket members Jesse and James, each with their signature Pokemon. It's a must-have for any trainer wanting to recreate their favorite battles. Over on the right, we're treated to the Pokemon movie 5-packs, which are based on the Pokemon the first movie. These packs include some absolute heavyweights, like Dragonite, Nidoking, Mewtwo, and Mew, perfect for any aspiring Pokédex completionist. Then there's the exciting, win an instant Hasbro collection competition. They're asking a rather intriguing question. According to Ash's Pokédex, which Pokemon can make clocks run backwards? Make sure you get your answer on a postcard with the correct address, or you might miss out on this amazing prize. The page also shows off a variety of other Pokemon goodies, including the addictive Pokemon Yahtzee Jr., the classic Pokemon Monopoly, and some rather cute minifigures and playsets. It's a treasure trove for any Pokemon fan. This page is a fantastic competition feature called Blagfest, offering a chance to win some brilliant prizes. First, you can win one of 10 starter sets for the WCW Nitro trading card game. Then, there are limited edition Pokemon capsules up for grabs, with a question about Pokemon types to answer. Fancy some Star Wars graphic novels? Titan Books are giving away 5 of those too, with a question about everyone's favorite Wookiee. We also have some cool Buffy the Vampire Slayer box sets to win, so make sure you know Buffy's surname. Finally, there are some top toys to be won, including a Skyball and a Champ Fingerbike, with a question about dirt bikes. Don't forget to check out the How to Win section for all the entry details. This page is the cover of Nintendo magazine, and what a cover it is. We're treated to a massive preview of Banjo-Tooie, promising wicked worlds and platform fun. The text tells us all about the exciting new features, like being able to control Kazooie, and even Mumbo Jumbo as a detonator. We also get a peek at the Nintendo 64 lineup with pages for Banjo-Tooie, Digimon, Dolphin News, Hercules the Legendary Journeys, Mario Tennis 64, Pokemon, Puzzle League, Pokemon Stadium, Gold/Silver, and Sydney 2000. It's a real treat for any Nintendo fan. This page is a fantastic preview of Banjo-Tooie, showcasing some truly incredible graphics. We get a glimpse of some rather grumpy-looking characters and a rather chilly environment with a rather menacing-looking bird-like creature. The text suggests this icy character might not be as friendly as he appears, and that the levels are set inside a giant creature. How wonderfully weird. It also features a shot of some rather fierce-looking badgers, armed to the teeth with what look like baseball bats. The reviewer's thoughts are clear. Banjo-Tooie is shaping up to be a contender for the greatest platformer ever on the Nintendo 64. They're particularly pleased that Banjo is finally rid of that pesky bird in his rucksack. A sentiment I'm sure many players will share. And to cap it all off, we have the Nintendo 64 logo, and the magazine's score of 83, a truly impressive number for what looks like a truly exceptional game. This page is all about Pokémon Puzzle League, and it's got us really excited. It's a colorful puzzler that's apparently as addictive as that Super NES classic Tetris Attack, but with Pokémon characters thrown in for good measure. We're told that you'll be battling through 16 trainers to become the Pokémon Puzzle Master, and that playing against a friend is where the real fun lies. The screenshots show the familiar faces of Ash, Misty, and Brock, all looking ready for some puzzle action. The gameplay involves lining up 3 blocks of the same color to clear them, and sending trash blocks to your opponent sounds like a devious tactic that's sure to get our competitive juices flowing. It's described as brain-teasing fun with plenty of challenges, and it sounds like it's going to be one of those games you just can't put down. This page gives us a look at Top Gear Hyperbike, promising some serious speed and stunts on both street and dirt bikes. We're treated to screenshots, showcasing some rather dusty Egyptian ruins, and some scenic hilly terrain, with the promise of outdriving your rivals through Florence and redwood forests. It sounds like a fast-paced bike sim, where pulling off rad tricks is key to boosting your speed. Also on the docket is news on Mario Kart Advance, the Legend of Zelda series possibly being whittled down to just 2 games, and a mention of Grand Theft Auto-style mayhem coming to the Game Boy Color, plus a peek at Rayman on the Game Boy Advance. Finally, we're teased about a jet ski racer, Sea-Doo Hydrocross 2001. This page is a full-page advertisement for Burger King and HMV. It highlights a promotion where customers can get £2 off seeds priced at £13.99 or more at HMV when they get a BK Buzz card. The card is offered free with the issue of Nintendo Official Magazine. The advert explains how to use the card and the benefits it provides. This page showcases Sydney 2000, the official computer game of the Olympics, for the Nintendo 64. It promises all the excitement of the games, from sprinting to platform diving, with accurately recreated stadiums. The game features a training mode for practice before competition. We also get a peek at Pokémon Stadium's Gold and Silver update, allowing players to transfer their new Pokémon to the N64 for 3D battles. The reviewer thinks Sydney 2000 looks promising, but needs to compete with international track and field. This page dives into Mario Tennis for the Nintendo 64, touting it as the next big thing in tennis sims. We're treated to a look at the game's smash hit action, cool courts, and mind-blowing multiplayer, with characters like Mario and Donkey Kong Jr. ready to hit the courts. The reviewer seems pretty chuffed with the game's variety of courts, including Donkey Kong's Jungle Arena and Bowser's Fiery Court, with its handy power-ups. Plus, we get a glimpse of Shy Guy making an appearance, proving that even the shyest characters can dish out some serious tennis action. It sounds like a real treat for tennis and Mario fans alike. This page is a full-page advert for Wickedware, featuring Pokémon trading cards and Game Boy Color games, including Pokémon Yellow, Red, and Blue. It also highlights N64 accessories like wheels and rumble packs. This page dives into the world of Digimon, explaining the franchise and introducing some of the main characters. We get to meet Sora Takenouchi, Tai Kamiya, Izuzumi, Mat Ishida, Mimi Tachikawa, and TK Takaishi, along with their Digimon partners. It seems Digimon is making quite a splash, with the article hinting at its popularity in both Japan and America, and comparing it to Pokémon. The game is described as a collection of digital monsters, with a plot involving Izzy and his 6 friends trying to return to Earth after being transported to a digital world. There's also a mention of cool collectibles, suggesting there's more to Digimon than just the game. It sounds like a pretty exciting digital adventure. This page is a vibrant introduction to the Digimon phenomenon, focusing on collectible merchandise and a new Nintendo 64 game. We're treated to a look at the iconic Digivice, described as a futuristic pager, and a pile of trading cards that apparently contain evolution information. Then there are the Digipals, which are described as cuddly and cute plush toys, ranging from a Gomamon to a Gabumon. The Digivolving figures are also showcased, with these wicked figures apparently transforming like Transformers. Finally, we get a glimpse of Hercules, the legendary journeys for the N64, which looks to be a rather epic RPG, featuring mythological beasts and magical combat. The reviewer seems quite impressed, anticipating an epic quest with awesome mythical monsters. This page is a cracking preview of Duck Dodgers for the Nintendo 64. It's a 3D platformer from Infogrames, due out in September. You play as Duck Dodgers, tasked with saving the universe from Marvin the Martian. You'll explore 5 wacky planets, get advice from Porky Pig, and even play mini-games like a minecart ride and basketball. The screenshots look vibrant, with Daffy Duck and Marvin the Martian making appearances. There's also a mention of Acme goodies, which sounds like a blast. The reviewer's verdict? It's a Looney Toony adventure with colourful worlds and spot-on voices, promising a quacking good time. Plus, there's a quick mention of Blues Brothers 2000 on page 30. This page is a veritable smorgasbord of gaming goodness, featuring a massive advert for Cybernet and funky phones, promising all sorts of mail-order delights. We've got game listings for the Game Boy and Nintendo 64, including classics like Pokémon and Donkey Kong, alongside a whole host of other titles. There's also a section dedicated to Cheats Unlimited, offering tips and tricks for over 3,000 games, with a particularly strong focus on PlayStation and PC titles. It's a gamer's paradise really, though navigating all those phone numbers might require a bit of patience. This page is a massive update on Nintendo's upcoming Dolphin console, which is rumored to be called the StarCube. We're treated to a breakdown of its supposed specifications, including the IBM Gecko processor and NEC high-speed DDR2 RAM, all explained with that typical Nintendo flair for technical jargon. The graphics are apparently going to be a huge leap forward, with the Dolphin capable of handling a staggering 25 million polygons per second, quite the jump from the N64. We also get a speculative release schedule, with games like Mario, Perfect Dark and Zelda all scoring a perfect 5/5 for likelihood of appearing, while Batman only manages a rather dismal 2/5. It's all very exciting stuff, and you can practically feel the anticipation building for this new powerhouse console. The page is rounded off with a glimpse into Nintendo's internet plans, and a brief mention of the Game Boy Advance, which is apparently going to be a smart bit of kit. All in all, it's a comprehensive look at what's to come, delivered with the usual confidence and insightful commentary we've come to expect. This page is a full-page advertisement for the Perfect Dark Master Guide. It boasts that it contains all the information you'll ever need, covering every difficulty, the game's build-up, multiplayer maps, rare games, and even posters. It's brought to you by the experts at Nintendo Official Magazine and the Masters. This page is the front cover of the Nintendo Official Magazine, teasing what's to come next month with a bold, next month headline. It promises all the biggest and best, with a Nintendo Official Magazine that's biggest, best, first, most games, official. There's a sneak peek at what you'll find inside, including 6 promises we always keep, like getting the latest Nintendo 64 game and product info first, loads of new games, and tips and cheats. Plus, there's a look at some updated and reviewed titles, including Eternal Darkness and Conker's BFD, alongside Turok 3 and ISS 2000. It's all topped off with a tantalizing plus, Game Guide's Best Chi, which sounds like a brilliant read for any gamer. This page is a corker. It's all about Mario Tennis 64, and it's clear this is going to be a massive hit. We're promised all your big N favorites, top tennis tricks, super cool games, and 4-player fun. And that's not all, because there's also a look at Pokemon Snap, with tips on taking ace pictures and finding every critter. Plus, Planet Nintendo is dishing out its best tips and cheats. And for those who love their handhelds, there's a look at the Game Boy Color, packed with reviews, tips, and cheats. Honestly, what more could a gamer ask for? It's a real treat for all of us retro enthusiasts. This page is a Nintendo Mastermind quiz, featuring 3 rounds: General Knowledge, Name the Game, and Talking Nintendo. It challenges readers with questions about Miyamoto's teams, game titles, and character quotes. The Name the Game section includes screenshots from racing and fighting games, while Talking Nintendo requires matching characters to famous Nintendo quotes. It's a proper test for any true Nintendo fan. This page is a cracking full-page advert for Turok: Rage Wars on the Nintendo 64. You can snag it for free when you join the Special Reserve Discount Club for a year for £6.99, which also gets you their magazine and entry into competitions. Plus, there are loads of other free gifts like controllers and memory cards, up for grabs. It's a fantastic deal for N64 owners looking for some prehistoric dinosaur battling action. The advert also highlights the game's multiplayer capabilities, allowing up to 4 players to battle it out. This page is a full-page advert for 2 cracking Game Boy Color titles: Alfred's Adventure and Cool Bricks. Alfred's Adventure stars a rather surprised-looking chicken, while Cool Bricks looks like a colorful puzzle game. Both promise 2 fantastic new games and are available for the Game Boy Color. What a treat!